Hello, Tube Dwellers, and welcome to another Mad Bag Gamer production. Today, I'm going to be bringing you all of the races of the Elder Scrolls Skyrim, including full rundowns of their skill bonuses, their starting spells, racial power, racial abilities, and most likely a little description of ideal playstyle, how you should probably build that character, or at least how they're best suited to build. So we're going to kick it right off with the Argonian. Let's see, I'm going to just kind of cycle through presets, and then I'm going to describe all of their statistics, and then I will also include annotations with the rundowns. So the Argonians have favored skills of a plus 10 to lockpicking, plus 5 to pickpocket, sneak, light armor, alteration, restoration. Their starting spells, like most races in Skyrim, are flames and healing. They have a racial power called Hist Skin. This power allows you to regenerate health 10 times faster for 60 seconds. Generally the way racial powers work is you can use them once per day, so they've got like a day-long cooldown, at least an in-game day. Argonian's racial abilities are 50% disease resistance and underwater breathing. And overall, their ideal playstyle is probably something suited to a thief, probably not so combat focused. You're kind of going to want to go with defense based combat plays. You may want to do like a sword and board. You may want to do like an archer style. Given that they have that plus 5 to alteration, it makes it really easy for you to use shield like spells and some stuff like that. Really the pickpocket, sneak, and lockpicking kind of puts you as a thief, one of the seedier members of the underbelly of society. Alright, so let's move on. Next is the Breton. The Bretons' favored skills are plus 10 to conjuration, plus 5 to illusion, restoration, speech, alchemy, and alteration. Their starting spells, like almost all, are flames and healing. However, Bretons also get a conjure familiar spell, which can kind of work as an early game companion. If you're making a mage, you can really use this to help shift the focus of some enemies off of yourself, help you survive a little bit. Their racial power is Dragon Skin, which allows you to absorb 50% of the magicka from incoming spells for 60 seconds. Again, this is a 1 time per day type ability. Your racial ability is 25% magic resistance. So that kind of corners them as a magic user who's best at countering magic users. Of course, your ideal character build for Bretons is going to be something using magic. Since they do have the speech, they're fairly good at bartering. So your smithing and your crafting skills are a little bit more useful with them, at least because you can kind of get a jump on the mercantile aspects. And then really you just want to focus on a bunch of magic with these Bretons. I've been cycling skin tone, haven't I? Here, let me cycle a couple presets for you. Yeah, I'm okay with losing all of my changes. Bretons are kind of like the off-caster. If you want to make a mage, generally high elf is going to be your best chance, or your best bet. But Bretons can be a really solid alternative that have some other good statistics as well. Alright, so moving right. Next, we have Dark Elves. Let me make sure I'm on presets this time. Alright, Dark Elves' favorite skills are plus 10 to destruction, plus 5 to alteration, illusion, sneak, light armor, and alchemy. Their starting spells are flames, sparks, and healing, so they get a little bonus starting spell in there. They get electricity right off the bat. This isn't huge. You can actually find a tome that gives you sparks in the starting area, so that's not such a great benefit, but it's worth noting, I guess. Their racial power is called Ancestor's Wrath. It creates a flame cloak that deals 10 damage to nearby foes for 60 seconds. Again, that's a one-time daily use. Racial abilities, 50% fire resistance. Their ideal playstyle is kind of a hybrid, kind of like a spell sword or a battle mage. Since they've got the 10 in destruction, since that's their biggest bonus skill, you definitely want to be using some kind of destructive magic with Dark Elves. However, they've also got Alteration and Illusion, which makes it kind of easy to manipulate combat a little bit. And then they've got Sneak and Light Armor, so and of course Alchemy. So you can kind of be a little bit assassin-esque, and you can use poisons on your blades and kind of work that angle as well. Overall, very high damage dealing potential from this class, and hybrid damage as well, which is interesting. Alright, so next we have the High Elf. Now, if you've watched my introduction and character creation videos, then you will already know the High Elf's statistics, but I'll go ahead and list them out again here. Favorite skills for High Elves are plus 10 Illusion, plus 5 Alteration, Conjuration, Destruction, Restoration, Enchanting. So, all magic. He has literally nothing bonus skills that's not magic related. Starting spells, Flames, Fury, Healing. Now, Fury's an interesting one. Fury you can't really get until you get into Riverwood and talk to the trader, so it's kind of nice to have that right off the bat. And Fury allows you to turn one enemy against any others in the area. It's kind of like a confusion where he'll just attack whoever. Fury is really, really handy for a mage because you can kind of have trouble dealing with multiple enemies. The AoE of your spells helps, but being able to just turn one enemy insane helps quite a bit. Racial power is called Highborn. For 60 seconds, you regenerate 25% of your maximum magicka each second. Now, this is enormous. This is huge. That means that every 4 seconds, you get all of your magicka back, and this lasts for 60 seconds. When you have this turned on, you can't run your magicka out. I've literally tried just spamming 2 spells. You can't get rid of your magicka. Your magicka is just chocked full. Your racial ability is Highborn Magicka, which just gives you a base plus 50 Magicka right off the start. Again, really useful for magic users. Of course, your ideal build for the High Elf is going to be a magic user, just pure and simple. He's got favorite skills in all of the magic schools, and you can generally accomplish just about any other aspect of the game, like speechcraft things can be accomplished through illusion. Of course, your combat things, instead of using swords or bows and arrows, you can accomplish that through destruction magic. You can really just go full out magic, and the High Elf has the magicka to support it, and also has the other racial abilities and skill favors to support it. Alright, so moving right along, our next race is the Imperial. The Imperial's favorite skills are plus 10 to Restoration, 5 to Destruction, Enchanting, One-Handed, Block, and Heavy Armor. Starting spells are Flames and Healing. Your racial power, Voice of the Emperor, calms nearby people for 60 seconds. I believe that works on bandits and just about anything, so that can kind of be a lifesaver. I understand that later in the game there is an illusion spell called Pacify that roughly replaces this and is more powerful, but it can be kind of useful for crowd control until you get to that point. Your racial abilities, you have Imperial Luck, and this adds a small amount of gold to almost all containers in the world. I understand that it's about 10 per container, or I mean 10%, not necessarily 10 static gold. This can be a small amount, especially in the early game, however it adds up really quickly. Your ideal playstyle here, since you have Restoration as your primary favorite skill, it's plus 10, you kind of want to make use of that. A lot of warriors will notice themselves using some Restoration anyway, just because it's generally better to get your hit points back up than using potions or the sort. And then, of course, you have One-Handed and Block and Heavy Armor, all as favorite skills, all receiving plus 5. So your sword and board style is going to be, it's going to get a little boost right off the start with an Imperial. So he makes a really good, just generic sword and board warrior. Alright, next we have the Khajiit, the cat people. I have a feeling a lot are going to be interested in this. I'm kind of not real privy to the Argonian and Khajiit races. They're a little weird for me, but you furries out there especially. Alright, so the Khajiit's favorite spells are going to be, or I'm sorry, not spells, favorite skills are going to be plus 10 to Sneak, plus 5 to Lockpicking, Pickpocket, Alchemy, One-Handed, and Archery. His starting spells are Flames and Healing. Racial power is Night Eye, improved night vision for 60 seconds. You can kind of turn your brightness up on your TV or monitor, and you kind of don't really need this. However, it can be useful, especially as far as the immersion factor goes. just to toss that out in certain dungeons. The really nice thing about it is it lets you see things without giving away your position. Like, if you equip your character with a torch, you can't sneak at the same time. People see you with the torch, and you just can't really sneak up on people because you got a big light. Night Eye allows you to see things without the light, but overall, it's kind of one of the weaker ones. Racial ability.